Hey guys, welcome back to the Rabbit and Red Lounge. Red here, and I know a bunch of y'all have been asking me to do a movie review, so here it is. I figured I'd do a little one for y'all. Just gotta say right off the bat, I am not a professional movie critic, nor have I ever done anything like this before, so this is all new to me, so bear with me. It's just gonna be me talking about the movie and giving my opinions on it. So the movie I'm going to be doing today is called Gerald's Game. Just came out on Netflix like maybe a week or two ago. It's an interesting movie. I will say that it's based on a Stephen King novel, and I have not read the book. I've never even heard of the book before, so I was really surprised. Normally I'm a big fan of Stephen King and the movies based on his books. This one wasn't my favorite. It wasn't, and I've heard a lot of people say either they didn't like it or it was just okay. I looked up the reviews for it, and it got a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb and a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. So, movie critics liked it. Well, let's see. I'm gonna try to keep this spoiler free if I can. No promises. But it's about a husband and wife, and that's basically it for the characters in the movie. There's a few other side characters and stuff, but it's mainly just the husband and wife. Gerald and his wife Jessie, they're having marital problems, and so they decide to go on a little mini vacation out to this house in the country out in the middle of nowhere and try to spice up their relationship, have some alone time. You know what I mean. And on their trip out there and the few events that happen when they first get there, we learn that Gerald is very overbearing and he talks down to Jessie a lot. He's not my favorite person. I honestly hate him. I do. I hate his character very much. And Jessie is she's a very sweet, kind-hearted person that just takes whatever he dishes out. Well, they decide to do some experimenting in the bedroom, and he puts her in handcuffs and handcuffs her to the bed. Well, she freaks out, and he's freaking out back at her, and he dies. Yeah, 30 minutes, I believe, about 30 minutes into the movie. He's dead. Gone. And so that leaves her stuck, handcuffed to the bed. Not a situation I would want to be in. I've heard in the book that when she's stuck in the bed, she's naked. At least in the movie, she has a nightgown on. Less because that would be an awkward movie. But yeah, so she's stuck there in the bed, and I believe it says she's there for about 5 hours, just struggling, I guess. She's not even really struggling. That's the thing. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. She's not even really struggling. I mean, yeah, she's pulling on her handcuffs and yelling out, but I feel like she could have done a whole lot more to try to get herself loose. I don't know. But yeah, she's there for 5 hours, and then she starts hallucinating. And she's hallucinating her dead husband, Gerald. He's up talking to her and everything, and herself. And I'm not quite sure if it's supposed to be just herself, like she's talking to herself, giving herself advice and everything, or if the her that she's hallucinating is supposed to be more of the woman that she wants to be, because that her seems more like she's gonna stand up to Gerald and talk back to him. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. But yeah, while she's hallucinating both of them, she starts going back and reliving memories of her childhood, and I guess it kind of helps us see what makes her who she is now and why she accepts what she does from Gerald. And apparently her father sexually assaulted her. I don't even know what she would call it. I mean, he didn't rape her, but without giving too much away, it was, I guess you would call it a sexual assault. And that takes up a good section right there. The whole first part of the movie, about 3/4 of the movie, goes by very slow. It's mainly just her talking to the hallucinations, and there's a dog. I'm not going to give too much away on that, but there's a dog that's in there. Then we see, I believe it's like towards the second night that she's there, we're introduced to the Moonlight Man. And I just have to say, I love the Moonlight Man. He's played by the same actor that plays Lurch in the Addams Family. And as soon as I saw that, as soon as I saw him, I had to go look it up and see and make sure it really was who I thought it was. And sure enough, it was. There's Lurch, and he's very Lurch-like. Like, he's tall, gigantic dude, kind of hunched over. He's got that strange face, like sunken in eyes. He's got a bag of bones and people's jewelry. Like, when she first sees him, he comes out of a corner, and she's like, "You're not real. You're not real. You're not here. You're made of moonlight," is what she calls him, and I guess that's why he gets the name Moonlight Man. Yeah, and then he doesn't say anything. He just opens up this bag, and you see bones and people's jewelry, and she just like closes her eyes and says, "You're not real," and he's gone. And he doesn't come in a whole lot until towards the end of the movie. That's like his main part for that time period, and then the rest of it is like mentions him. Like, she knows that he's there. Oh, he could be here. He could be under here. You don't see him really again to the end. So, yeah, she's still trying to figure out how to get out and everything, and her... I don't want to say how she gets out, because that would give away too much. So yeah, she's strapped to the bed, like, you can't really see, but like with her arms out to the side. She gets out somehow and makes her way out to the car, leaves everything. Then you start to see, I almost said Lurch. then you start to see the Moonlight Man again. As she's escaping is when you get to see more of the Moonlight Man. And I don't really want to give away too much of the ending. Trying to figure this out here. Okay, I'm just gonna say, if you haven't seen the movie yet, and you want the ending part to be a surprise, don't watch any more of this for now. Pause it, watch the movie, come back and watch this, because I have to talk about this. The end is my favorite part of the movie. I have to talk about this. So, if you have already seen the movie, awesome. Okay, so, those of y'all who've seen the movie, you know, she cuts her hand open. She, like, I don't quite understand why she does it this way. She, like, cuts her wrist and her hand, and so it just, like, almost degloves her hand. That right there. It was not a horror movie until that part. Like, that was the part that made it horror, I guess. Yeah, and so she's running around with a bloody hand and stuff, and she gets to her car, and oh no, wait, when she's trying to leave, when she's leaving the house, that's when we see Moonlight Man again. And she takes off her wedding ring and gives it to him. And again, she's thinking he's not real. And guys, up until the very end where she's reading the newspaper, I thought he was a figment of her imagination. I thought he was another one of her illusions. And yeah, she just gives him the ring and he's gone. And I have to say, my favorite part of the whole movie, one of my favorite parts, there's two, is she's made it to her vehicle and she's driving away and she's fighting to stay conscious. And she's envisioning the solar eclipse. And Moonlight Man is in the back of her car, and his eyes are like glowing red. I guess, I don't know if it's really his eyes are glowing red or it's the eclipse or whatever, but he's there, and he just looks so incredibly creepy, and I love him. And then he leans forward into her ear and says, "Mouse," and that's like the same instant that she hits the tree. And I don't know what it is about that part, that scene. Sorry, you guys, I'm getting excited and shaking the camera. I don't know what it is about that scene, but I absolutely love it. And then it goes through the whole, she's telling her story of, or she's writing a letter to her younger self, or her old self, and explaining what has happened afterwards, and gets her to the point of where she is now. Now, when it got to the point where she read the newspaper and she realized that the Moonlight Man was a actual person, that, oh my god, I was like, what the fuck? He's a real person? And one thing that I don't understand is, I mean, yeah, the stuff that happened, it could have been, a real person, real creepy person, sneaking around, watching her and stuff, and I don't know. How did he know her nickname that her dad gave her? The only person that we hear call her Mouse in the movie is her dad. How did he know that her nickname was Mouse? Is what I have trouble understanding. If y'all know, like, if there's something in the book and you've read it and you know how he knows, just put it in the comments, because I want to know. I'm curious. I don't know how he knew her name was Mouse. But then she goes, she reads in the newspaper and sees all the stuff that he's done, and how he went from grave robbing and cannibalism of his brother-in-law to, actually killing people in their sleep, and then he's in court, and she goes in there, and he turns around and sees her, and he's like, "You're not real! You're not real! You're made of moonlight!" And I don't know, he looks really cute. I hate to say it, but he does. In that scene right there, he looks a lot like Lurch. So, me growing up with the Addams Family movies and stuff, and Lurch being one of my favorite characters, I was just like, "Oh my god, it's Lurch!" And then I gotta remind myself that that's not really Lurch. That's a serial killer dude. He's not supposed to be cute. But, yeah, he repeats the same thing that she said to him right back to her. And it was almost like he was happy to see her. And then he just, breaks his handcuffs off. And all these police officers are struggling to hold him back and restrain him again and everything. And she leaves, and that's the end. So, the one thing I didn't understand about that scene is, how did she just walk into the courtroom and nobody saw her? There was a police officer by the door. Why was he not like, "Ma'am, you need to get back here, go sit down," or something? I don't know. He just let her walk on in, and she walked right up to him, and even then everybody was ignoring her, and they rushed straight for him. Somebody should have taken her out. If that was real, I don't think they would have let her just walk out. They would have actually escorted her out of the building. So I don't know. The movie was... Sorry, that was Jaeger. My dog, he's sitting on my lap. The movie was interesting. It was... I don't know. It moved very slow until the end. Like I said, the end part of it was my favorite. That's when it starts to pick up, stuff starts happening, we find out things. Other than that, I don't know. I watched the movie one time, and then today, while I was putting up my Halloween stuff, I played it again just to kind of recap before I did this for y'all, and I wasn't even excited to watch it again. I wasn't. Especially the first part. I didn't even really rewatch the first part all that much. I was more focused on the Halloween stuff. It did nothing to catch my attention until the end. At the end is when I actually sat back down and had to watch it again. But I don't know. If I had to rate it, I would probably give it a... I'd give it a 2 out of 5 stars. That's Red's rating for this one, guys. 2 out of 5. And it would have been a 1 had it not been saved by the end scene and Lurch. Because, let's be real, having Lurch in a movie can turn it around pretty good. But yeah, so that's... Trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know, because the first part was, like I said, pretty blah. I have not much to say about that other than I hate Gerald. And her dad was... Her dad! Oh my god, that's... Okay, I do have to say something about this one part real quick. The guy that they got to play... I'm sorry, guys. I keep shaking the camera like crazy. I don't know. I get excited when I talk about movies. Yeah, the guy they got to play her dad, if they were going for really creepy, they nailed it. I mean, I don't know what it is. He acts like a pedophile. Like, he does. Sorry. Like, the way he looks, the way his voice is, he's very calm. Okay, so her mom, being pregnant and everything, she seems a little bit more high strung. But him, he's very calm, like nothing phases him. He has a very monotone voice. I don't know. He's creepy, guys. Like, he's kind of gross. Actually, he's very gross. Yeah. So, Gerald and her dad, which we don't even get to learn his name, I don't think. It's just her dad and her mom. But those two, I did not like them at all. But I think that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry if I tend to ramble a little bit. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, and talking about movies makes me excited. I think the next one I'm going to do, unless a movie comes out that I just really feel like I need to do a review on, the next movie video I'll be doing is I'm gonna pick 3 movies that most of y'all probably haven't seen that I really enjoy, and do short little like synopsis on each one of them. And just to give you, because with Halloween coming up, I know if you're like me looking for spooky movies or good movies to watch around Halloween, so there'll just be a couple movies to add to your Halloween list. So keep on the lookout for that. And then, of course, we've got Glamour Goal coming up here in the next week or so you can be on the lookout for that. But I guess that's it for this time, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below your thoughts on the movie. And like I said, if you know why Lurch character knows her nickname is Mouse, let me know. But I will catch y'all next time, guys. Stay spooky.